All right. Well, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning somewhere out there in the world. Happy Thursday. I hope you're doing great, feeling amazing, and just being stupendous. You are what you want to be, right? And as I always say, life is what you make of it. You're watching once again Real Talk with E.V.E, and we have a great episode coming up today. I'm always wanting to lift up others, and you guys know that I have a heart for that, right? And so today I have an amazing young lady coming up, and we always want to talk about health solutions. We always want to talk about what is someone doing to make a difference out there in the world. And I'm thankful to my LinkedIners, my Facebookers, my YouTubers, and everyone that's watching on the World Wide Web. I thank you for joining every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And of course, your hostess with the mostest, E.V.E, is in the house tonight. And I thank you for making time and watch. And I hope that you get some nuggets out of today's show. This is a wonderful lady, of course, that's surviving diabetes. And she has a book that's about to come out. We are celebrating her. Woo, woo. And I am just so glad to have her in the house today because I need to celebrate her. She didn't ask. That's just how it works. You do it. You do it because it's out of the goodness of your heart and because it only makes sense. How do we learn? We learn from others, right? And so, yes, this one's shout out for her. Miss Melanie Chinadol Davis. And yes, do it again. Come on. That's right. Bring it in. And so I just want to read briefly about her. She is a survivor to diabetes, 45 years into this journey, living with type 1 diabetes. And her title of her book is Surviving Diabetes, Diagnosed, Not Defined. And I love that title. We're going to find out where that title came from. And of course, at age 21, Melanie Davis nearly died without knowing why until her 6-month-old daughter's cry brought help. A blood sugar reading of 800. Did you hear me? She said 800. Wow. Confirmed the diagnosis, type 1 diabetes. And what followed was not a quiet life of careful management, but decades of physical and emotional battles. And of course, her story includes a high-risk pregnancy and the loss of a child, dangerous blood sugar crashes, and emergency room visits. Some of you probably can relate to these stories or to her story. And of course, an abusive marriage and lasting physical and emotional toll. That did not help, I'm sure. So she's had major surgeries, colon surgery, 4-eye surgery, mild stroke, grief from losing her three parents in 3 years. That's a lot on a person that is healthy. Imagine going through her own struggles as well. And so living with with a body doctors called quote unquote brittle and a future they sometimes questions. We want to go and dive right on in and bring her to the stage. Amazing Melanie, Mel as I call Chinadol Davis. Welcome to
Hey,
Real Talk with EVE. It's a pleasure to have
thank
you today.
you. Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. And I was sitting over here dancing, enjoying the music at the beginning. Oh my God, that got me ready to go.
I got to have a little Latina jingle in there because I am Latina all the way. And so thank you for coming on Real Talk with EVE. We're going to get some real talk out of this conversation with you. I know more of diabetes type 2, but I'm going to learn a lot from you, diabetes type 1, which it is no joke. We do have to take our health serious, our life. We got to take it more serious than ever.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I
Absolutely. And I've found out that there are so many people out there who just don't take it serious, don't take it serious enough. And that's where I'm hoping to be able to make a difference in telling them that, you don't have to give up. You don't have to let it define you. There's ways and there's also groups of people like me who want to help and want to be able to encourage you to make sure that you take care of you, because if you want to take care and build your legacy for your family, it's all about you first.
most definitely. And when we take care of someone else, now we're last. The caregiver, the caregiver is last to take care of themselves. Well, we are now highly encouraging others to make sure you take care of you so that you're able to take care of others, right? And
Right.
so with your life, Mel, and I hope you don't mind me calling you Mel.
No, not
First
at
of all,
all.
I'm just curious, where did Chinadol come from? I love that.
Ah, question.
Yes, I had
You
to
know,
ask.
I used to perform a lot. But anyway, when I was younger, people used to say, "You look like you've got Asian in your family." Because every time I smile real hard or something, my eyes tend to, go
Like mine. If
right.
I don't have
Exactly.
mascara, you can't see my eyes. No.
Right. But then I started performing out and about. And
Mm,
people started saying, "You look like a China girl." So they started calling me China Doll. So that name just stuck over the years, and that became my stage name. And
hey.
so, yeah.
Are you saying you're a singer?
I've been a singer since I was 4 years old. Mama used to say, "Stop singing so much in the car." But I started singing when I got out of high school and started performing around the Chicagoland area and abroad. Luckily, I was able to go abroad and actually sing too. Done some recordings, but nothing that's been out there that people knew about. But it's been my life. Music has been my life.
Wow. Are you still performing nowadays? Can someone just say, "Hey, I would like to book you"? Or
Due
you?
to physical, and that's one of my problems with diabetes. It has caused some issues that
Mm,
has messed up my wind ability to sing for long periods of time. Because at one point I was able to sing for an entire hour or longer.
oh
But
wow.
now, because I have what they call low lung capacity, it
Mm,
limits how long I can sing without actually coughing, having a what do you call a coughing spasm.
right, right.
So yeah, so and that came from all types of surgeries I talked about,
Wow.
things like that. So I may do like a half of a song and then I'll stop just because I don't want to go beyond my limitations and do
Right,
something on stage that's going to disrupt the event. So I
right,
limit
right.
that. And for someone who loves to sing, that can be an emotional thing because that
For
was my
sure.
life.
For sure.
So for a long time, that was a little devastating not to be able to do the things I absolutely love to do in the way that I want to do it.
Well, we're going to pray because I still believe in miracles. Jesus is in the miracle
Absolutely.
business. That
Absolutely.
the Lord wants you to go back and sing a new song unto the Lord. He will make
Absolutely.
it work. He
And
will have you back on stage singing
so it
for him.
is. So it is. So it
Just
is.
saying. So, real quick, Mel and I have met each other years ago and doing different types of businesses out there from energy to other things. And so I'm bringing her back because she brought in also an opportunity for me, but that'll be another day for another show. Today, we
Right.
want to talk about Melanie, Chinadol, Davis, and her having diabetes type 1. She is an entrepreneur, obviously. We've just become a partner to a different type of business, and she's into estate. She's a certified digital real estate agent. She helps educate others by the growing world of real estate tokenization and how an average person can now participate with a huge capital through digital tokens. We can go on and on and on. But right now, what I know about Melanie is she is the author of Surviving Diabetes, Diagnosed, Not Defined. And her 45-year journey is a deeply personal book that she shares her experience of living diabetes for more than 4 decades. And through her story, she encourages others not to be defined by their diagnosis, their challenges, or their past, but to keep moving forward with strength, wisdom, and hope. And that is what Melanie did. Just that she's speaking to us about, of course, through this book. I mean, I'm sure in rewriting, because it was already written while you were living it. It was not you physically writing it, but it was already being written, and you rewriting it now, pencil and paper. You had to have gone through some emotional, spiritual, relational aspects of it through not just through your chronic illnesses through that time, but was it like re-waking up those emotions while you were writing the book, Mel?
Absolutely. One thing that the publisher told me when he was reading my book, he says, "You know what? If your book, while you're writing it, can make you cry, then
Mm,
you've got something that other people can relate to and
mm,
understand." Because he actually said he thought about his mom who was going through diabetes. And it
mm,
brought tears to his eyes because of some of the things that I was talking about in the book, which if you get a copy of it, you'll understand. Um, Diabetes is something, especially type 1, but all of them, can have an emotional toll on you as you're going through it, because you don't know which way to turn most of the time, and you have to rely on a higher power in order sometimes to get you through some of the things that you go through, not just physically but emotionally and spiritually. You question yourself, you question, why me? And at one point, you think about things that you shouldn't think about, but you're going through something for a reason. And I have to say that you can't have a testimony without a test.
Come on.
And man, have I had the tests. As you'll find out, some of the types of surgeries, the doctor that says that you, at the age of 30, have something that normally a 60, 50, or 60-year-old person would have. This type of diagnosis is a complication from the diabetes. It's not something they had ever seen. They thought, they said, you're a different one. You're a rare breed.
Wow.
Yeah.
What were your symptoms, Mel? For those that are watching, we have to all be mindful of being aware of our bodies.
Absolutely.
Talking to us. What were your symptoms in the beginning that you didn't know what was going on?
Right. At age 21, I was, before that, I was like a cheerleader in high school and all of that. And I was very active. Again, I was singing, and then even this talent show, I was still singing. But at the games, I would faint. And they just assumed back then, before I became 21, that I was having exhaustion. It was exhaustion. They never diagnosed me back then when I was in high school as having diabetes. But when I had my daughter at the age of 21, and 6 months after I had her, I started drinking water. I just could not get enough water. I wanted to drink and drink. And then I kept wanting sweets. I wanted more and more sweets. And then I was back and forth to the restroom all the time. And one day I was out playing tennis with a good friend of mine, and he was wondering what was going on because I had to stop and go and get some water so often. Yeah. So I was drinking and drinking, and then I got to the bathroom, and then, so it was the oddest thing, but I had lost a lot of weight. I was down to 99 pounds.
Wow.
When I was typically 120 pounds, I was down to 99 pounds. And my mother kept asking me, what's wrong with you? Right. And I'm fine that I know of. I'm just losing weight. Did not know what was actually going on. And so that particular day that I was done going out to play tennis, I went home, and my daughter, my mom had been taking care of my daughter. My daughter was in the crib, and I just laid down for a moment. And the baby started crying and crying and crying and crying, and the rest is in the book.
Yeah, we can't give it all. We do not give it all.
symptoms.
We do want you out there that's watching, listening, to purchase her book. And we'll talk about that towards the end of the show. But let me ask you about your early, your personal background of what you're sharing right now. Can you tell us about your early life and what inspired you to pursue your current path where you are now? Or better yet, to write that book.
To write that book, first of all, my mom, before she passed, she passed back about 5 years ago, and she wrote her memoir. She wrote her book of poems. And I always encouraged her because throughout my life of growing up, she was always writing something. And at one point I looked to see what she was writing, and it was a whole book of poems. Wow. And they talked about her life and what she was going through. And her poems, really made a huge difference. And as a matter of fact, this was her book, Growing Pains.
Growing Pains. Wow.
By my mom, Doris Robinson. And this book inspired me to think long term. about eventually one day being like my mom and
Mm,
wanting to make sure I get my life in memoir too, because I love to sing. I was thinking along the lines of a book about singing or something like that. I never thought I'd write a book about being diabetic. But
mm.
um, but yeah, that was the main thing that got me thinking about even writing a book about anything. But as I was going through what I was going through, other people kept saying, "Mel, you've been through some things. You need to write a book." And
Wow.
so, but hey, you know how you do. You just stay. You kind of put it off in the background, and you just
Yep.
wait and wait and wait.
Yep.
But
And that goes to my next question about your
mhm.
professional journey. What has been some pivotal moments in your career that defined your trajectory?
Well, in my career itself was during the time that I was working. There were a lot of ups and downs, all the careers that you get into, a lot of jobs you love, a lot of jobs you don't love. But my job at a particular company that was a non-for-profit, I was with them for 16 years.
Wow.
Absolutely loved what I did because we were doing good in the world. We were helping people all over the world to do better, low income countries. I was actually helping them to train the leaders that were at these, what they call Rotary clubs, and be able to take back the information about the Rotary Foundation to their clubs. And I love that job. And at one point, there was so much stress on the job because they had a change in management. And sometimes when you change management, the thinking of a non for profit goes toward profit. And that made a difference in a lot of people that worked at that company. And I was one of them, and it was affecting my health. That
Mm,
played a key role. And at one point, the doctor said, because they were monitoring my sugars, monitoring my heart rate, they were monitoring a lot of things because I was what they called a brittle diabetic. And if you want to look that up, a brittle diabetic is someone where your sugar levels can go up and down swiftly, real fast.
I mean,
And without
800? Come on, Mel.
can
That's like
go
blood
up
sugar
and down.
comatose.
A brittle diabetic. But once they got that under control, I went up, but mainly didn't go any high as 800, but it would go up to 300, 400, and then it'll drop down real fast once you get under control, all the way down to a dangerously low. And it could happen at any time. You think you've done everything correct. You've
Right,
eaten,
right.
you've checked it. All of a sudden it'll dip real fast. So they
Wow.
call that a brittle diabetic. So at the
Mm,
job, my career took a toll because they saw what was happening. And one of my doctors said, that job is killing you.
mm.
And so at some point, I had to make a decision about what I wanted to do with my career. And so that made me actually do more side businesses and do things because eventually my mindset was to work for myself so that I can control the
Mm.
time that I go check my sugars, don't have to wait for someone to tell you to go to the bathroom or go to lunch or whatever. I said, I need to do my own thing. So that kind of helped me decide I need my own business. And I left that company in 2015 and have been an entrepreneur ever since on my own, doing my own thing. And it's
And that
helped a
that
lot.
answers, yeah, and that answers to the question that I was going to ask. Can you share a challenge that you faced professionally and how you overcame it? You just answered that right then and there with you saying you could no longer do that because your sugar was going up and down, and things can happen rapidly, like you just said. So
Right.
the best thing was how you overcame it was working for yourself, right? Because you are now in control of your time schedule.
Absolutely. And it played a role on my family, my
Hmm.
daughter, my son. People had to help me when I was not myself. And I did not want to feel obligated all the time or dependent on other people all the time. I had to get myself under control. I had to make sure I could take care of me. And I did that. I was able to control it much better, being able to control my life.
Amen. And that means a lot when you're able
Oh,
to do that and
absolutely.
not be a burden to your children, right? It should not have. And you're still young, Mel. I mean, you are still young.
Hello. I'm a
Yes.
baby boomer, guys, but I am
Yay.
67 years old.
60 who? What?
I'm going to be 67 in August. So, yeah. So, and my
Can you
daughter's
tell? Look
45.
at what God is doing. She has
Woo!
the fountain of youth, and she's here to testify and to tell us how good God has been, because she's
Absolutely.
now written a book that is going to help someone else out. You know, God allows us to go through things, Mel, for us to go help someone else. And while we're in that storm, while we're doing it, like, why? Some people are like, why did this have to happen to me?
Right.
You know, why?
Right.
Well, guys probably say, why not you? I know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm doing, right? I know who I'm
Mm-hmm.
trusting. We're the ones that
Right.
don't trust ourselves, right? And so
Absolutely.
I'm so thankful that you actually said, let me write this down. And your mom played that role in giving you that example that she did that, right? And you have that book right there. How old is that book? When did she write the book, Mel?
Okay, let me take a look at it. Let's see. We wrote that book in 2000 and, hold on. Oh, God, what's the year on it? I want to say 2000. Where's it at? It's here. 2018.
Wow. Okay.
2018.
And you followed
And,
those
and, and
footsteps.
she passed in 2020.
May she rest in peace. And she's leaving a legacy. And that's what you're working on, from what I'm hearing. You're leaving a legacy with all the side businesses, the different avenues that you've taken as an entrepreneur, the different endeavors that, hey, you know, as we're saying right off the air, is like we all cannot put all our all our eggs in one basket.
Right.
Right. We
Right.
should have multiple streams of income. And if you know Warren Buffett, he says, you know, you're going to always work forever in the rest of your life until you die. If you don't do something about it, especially if your money's making money while you sleep, come on.
Always
That's the
been
road
my
we're in.
motto. Absolutely. And I have these particular side businesses have been just that, ways to get passive income. And again, passive income has helped me to be able to do a lot of things, including write this book, because, I don't have a job that pays me. I pay myself. So
Amen.
I have to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do to be
That's
able to get things like this and pay and get this book out.
Yeah. And now
So,
we're going to go into learning and growth, Mel. Are
learning and
there
growth.
lessons you've learned that might surprise our listeners?
Lessons that I have learned that might surprise them.
I mean, because here you are to tell us a testimony, and you're talking about 3, 5, 6, 800 number and
Yeah.
your glucose. That's almost like a sugar comatose, right? Where you're like in a coma, right?
Mhm.
I have seen people fall out when their sugar either drops too low or goes too high. They start to have health problems, right?
Right.
So how has that, or I'm sure there's been lessons that have come through that you've learned, that maybe others are in that trench right now, dealing with that struggle that you've dealt with. Would you say that you've learned
I
some
do have
lessons?
one. Yes, I do. When you have diabetes, sometimes your eyes take the the grunt of the problem. Okay, so I've had 4 eye surgeries. Okay, and that means that because of the diabetes, it caused certain things to happen with my eyes that they needed to fix. But I went to one doctor, started with one doctor who was a retina specialist. And because that retina specialist was so negative, he actually told me, you know, by the looks of what I'm seeing, you might be blind within 5 years.
Oh, the devil is a liar.
And this is what he said to me.
What?
And I would come back to him and he would almost repeat the same thing. And he wanted to do lasers and surgery. So we did one of the laser surgeries. And then he told me again, and I heard it another time. And I told myself, I need to get another doctor, because if this person is so negative and he's putting all the negative energies into me, that's not going to help me.
Not at
So
all.
I decided to make a change, and I changed doctors, and I got the best doctor that I could have ever gotten because he was more positive. And guess what, guys? I am still driving. I can still
Amen.
see. I can, it's not the way it used to be, but it possibly never will be. But God is good. He has the last word.
That's right.
And that's what people can't believe, that I've had I-4 surgeries and I'm still driving. Doctors can't believe it. And as a matter
Yes.
of fact, the last doctor's appointment I went to, that doctor told me, I can't believe you have been a diabetic, a type 1 at that, for 45 years, and you can see as good as you can see. It
Wow.
surprised him, but he doesn't know the God that I know.
Hello. Maybe he wouldn't want to learn now after hearing this who God is, right? So
Exactly.
this is the first time I'm hearing more about type 1. My dad had type 2. Oops, sorry. My dad had type 2. What is the difference of type 1 to type 2 diabetes?
Type 1, you are insulin dependent. You need insulin. So my pancreas doesn't work at all. It does not produce insulin. But with type 2, you need a push. You need something, and many people can actually control it by diet or by pills. But the difference is insulin dependency is the difference between type 1 and type 2.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So you're dependent on that injection every day. Is what you're
Every
saying.
day, 3, 4, 5,
Wow.
6 times a day, depending upon what's going on in the body.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. So let's get into the personal insights, Mal. We want to know what you like. What are your passions or hobbies, if you have any?
Well, I already told you one thing I love to do is music. It has been and it still is. So I still actually put together, I write lyrics and I put together music videos and actually post out. So I'm a digital creator. I love
Mm-hmm.
AI, artificial
Yeah.
intelligence, and utilizing artificial intelligence. I actually love to be able to attend live performances. So yeah, those are my main hobbies, things I like to do.
Okay. Good,
Mhm.
good. And so if you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
I would say never give up, continue, never give up. Just know that God does things for a reason. So always keep the faith and believe in you and what you can do, because when one person says you can't, God will say you can.
Yes, yes. Amen. I say, hey, watch me. Watch me, you'll see, right? And so
Absolutely.
looking forward, besides when is this book being launched? Has it been
Well,
launched?
the book
And
has been launched. It has
okay,
been launched, and it is actually in Amazon right now. So you can get it via Amazon, and you can also order it directly from me if you want your autographed copy. So yeah, you can
how
actually,
do we get that autograph copy?
yeah, you get that autographed copy by going to email me at gcp4u59@gmail.com. That's GCP, the number 4, the letter U, 59@gmail.com.
Okay,
Or
I'm gonna
through
ask you to say it one more time.
yeah,
GCP.
the number 4, the letter
Mm-hmm,
U,
mm-hmm.
59@gmail.com.
Okay.
Okay, or
That's
directly at Amazon.
GCP4U59@gmail.com.
Correct.
Okay. And I'm going to put it up in the screen for those of you that are like me, a little slow. And I even put it in big letters so that you can see. That's why I'm wearing my readers. I need to get some contact lenses because I don't like walking around with my glasses on, but everything gets blurry when I
That's
don't
it.
have them on, right?
Right.
They say
So
it's your age. No, it's not. It's just the overuse of your eyes. And then you have
absolutely.
astigmatism, then you get other issues. And so it happens. But here is the email to get a hold of Miss Melanie Chinadol Davis. Get your copy, get it autographed. Why not? And we're going to talk about, okay, what is next for, I'm going to leave that email up for another few seconds. What upcoming projects or initiatives are you excited about besides doing some book signings? Who knows? What are they?
Well, I'm hoping, yeah, book signings is number one. And I would like to also do more, get involved with more of the author committees and clubs and share experiences and share, because I've got another book coming out. So
Uh-oh.
you got to come out with number two book, okay,
Uh-oh.
about my life, another life story besides the diabetes. So I'm trying to fine tune how to make it even a better book. So I'm joining all types of clubs, and in order to do that.
Wonderful. That is good. Can't wait to hear all about it. And of course, the last question, I know we're running out of time and we are busy women, and I know that you are on to the next thing as soon as we get off the air. How do you envision the future of your industry or field and your role in it?
As far as book writing,
You, your future, your industry, whatever it
my
is that you're
future,
doing in your
my
field. Yeah.
future right now is continually to help people learn about ways to enhance their lives, whether it be financially, spiritually, emotionally, and that could be from our new company called E.V.E, which you talked about earlier, learning about the new digital finance that's happening out there where people, the ordinary people, can actually purchase tokens that are shares of real
Yes.
estate.
How exciting.
That's a new era, a new revolution happening right now. I am highly involved in that. And because there was a time where the ordinary person or the average person could not afford to be able to get property at all. Although you're not owning a full property, but you can get pieces of property that
Yes.
can help you get daily income.
Hey, and I'm excited to learn more about that. And stay tuned for an episode. We're bringing actually one of the partners of E.V.E here live in the
And I'm
studio.
excited
Real
about
talk
that.
with E.V.E.
Absolutely.
I mean, if God is in it, if I'm in it, that means God is in it. And if Mel's in it, that means God is in it. And so we are bringing one of the partners. Yay, yeah. To learn more about what Mel was just telling us about E-estate, I'm like, say, what? What was that? E-estate? What is that? Tokens, tokenization. What is that? So you know what? I was curious enough to say, okay, let me start asking all these questions. And so I'm excited for what God is doing, what we are doing, because it's all about sharing information. Don't keep it to yourself.
Right.
Place on earth. Do you know where the richest place on earth is, Mel?
The richest place on earth is
Not
within
with
you.
us. Actually, I learned this through some very professional and wealthy speakers, including who I first heard it was Dr. Bernice A. King, Martin Luther King's daughter, was the graveyard, the cemetery.
Oh, you meant
Out
rich,
there,
rich, rich. Ah,
richest place. I didn't
the
say
richest
like
place.
the
There
richest
it
place.
is.
Happens to be the graveyard, the
You're
cemetery.
right.
Why? Because
You're
there was a
right.
lot of ideas that weren't created, books that were never written,
Right.
companies that were never started. People don't share. I empty out every single day. And when I die, I am going to die empty. I'm not taking any value into that ground 6 feet under so that the
Yeah.
worms or whatever else can take my skin and my flesh, whatever. I am leaving it all here on earth, above earth, so that someone else can use it. And so thank you for writing that book, because now you're leaving something. You did not, when it's your time, whenever the Lord says it's your time, you're not burying that book that you never wrote. Now you're already talking about a second book. How
Oh,
about that?
absolutely.
There are many books to come. And for those of you that are watching, if this is your first time, you have something in you, create it, write it down. If that dream was given to you, write it down, make it plain. That's your plan. God has a plan for you that is better than yours, mine, Melanie's, everybody else put together. And that's the plan that we all need to be hurrying up to get on. Okay.
Absolutely. I just told my granddaughter that. I says, write down your journal. You're bored from not having anything to do for the summer. Oh, write your journal. Write what you're feeling. So important. I just told her that.
Get everything out of you. Write it down. Do a vision board. I remember my vision board and I'm like looking for that picture because I've moved 3 times since. Like, what did I do with that picture? Because I want to tell people all of this already took place.
Right. Right.
And that's what we need to do. It's called vision. When God gives you the vision, he will give you the provision. Don't stop working because you don't have the money. That means you're lacking faith. Do it. Be like Nike. I love it. I just do it. Be
Just
like
do
Nike.
it.
Just do it. And so I'm excited for what is to come. I want to thank you, Mel, for coming on
You're
this show, Real
welcome.
Talk with
You're welcome.
E.V.E. And I hope that some of you have taken nuggets from today that now you're going to have to take care of your health. You have to watch for signs. Your body will tell you before you pass out that you need to
Absolutely
take care of,
will.
number one, you,
That's right.
yourself.
Absolutely.
So one more time, where can we find this beautiful book? I can't wait to get a copy and
On
start reading it. Where, once
mhm.
again, I want an
Amazon,
autographed book. I'm just saying.
Amazon.com. Amazon.com. You can get it there. They have the Kindle version as well as a hard copy version. But again, you can also get it at gcp4u59@gmail.com. Just send me an email and you can get your copy.
Wonderful. Well, I am excited. I can't wait to get it in my hands. We'll have to meet for that. And I just want to thank you once again, Mel. I know that you have tons of things to do as soon as you get off the air. But we will be talking soon, and we're going to be bringing Mr. E.V.E, one of the partners of the E Estate, to learn more about this. And you all going to want to take notes, right, Mel? They're going to want
Absolutely.
to jump in and saying, where do I go? When can I start? And how much, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This is a beautiful book. Look at this beautiful, green. Oh, I love
Thank
that.
you.
Beautiful.
Thank
Surviving
you.
Diabetes, Diagnosed, Not Defined. You're going to want to read that book because if it's not you, it's someone else that's probably going to go through it or is going through it as we speak. Mel, thank you once again. Have a wonderful, blessed evening. Make it well and keep it pressing on, right? All right.
You got it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eve. I appreciate you.
Have a blessed evening. Appreciate you
Bye-bye.
as well. Wow. I hope you've taken some great nuggets of today's show. It's either 30 minutes or an hour, but sometimes the information is too good. You can't just cut it off right in the middle, right? Well, thank you once again for joining here at Real Talk with E.V.E. with the hostess of the mostest, E.V.E. And I thank you. Please share these videos, share them with others, because I'm all about solution-based episodes. Talk about real talk, real issues with real people. And on that note, I got places to go, people to see, and guess what? Things to do. So love you. Thank you once again for joining me. Until next time, Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Nos vemos. See ya.